Good evening, collectives, and welcome back to Will's Cartomancy Tarot. If you're new to my channel, I certainly appreciate both your viewership as well as your subscriptions. So, ladies and gentlemen, this reading is mostly suitable for your Libra teens. Because let's face it, your son or daughter is beginning to start to make crucial decisions as well as discovering new things such as schools, jobs, new relationships, as well as friendships. However, collectives, amid everything new that appears to be transpiring in your child's life, wouldn't it really be awesome to kind of get our hands around or get your hands around what is going to transpire or how it's all going to turn out here? Okay? So with that said, I decided to go on and just use my kids tarot deck in order to convey your message. And in this message, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to focus specifically on your child's current situation, what might be hidden for the entire school year term, as well as advice that I can give you, as well as a potential outcome. And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this reading, if this reading certainly is not something that you'd like to see come true, you might want to consider having some discussions with your team. Because one of the reasons why I decided to go on and start doing more teen readings, because as you all know, there's a lot of gun violence out there. And guess who are the culprits? These teens, mostly. Okay? So if parents take the time and just sit and talk to their children, sometimes a lot of these things can be avoided. Not only the gun violence, but we have all of these teen suicides, teens dying to drug overdose and all of these things. So, collectives, with that said, it's time that you really get more acquainted with what's going on with your child here. Okay? Because we all want our teenagers to be successful, right? All right. So, Spirit, I'm going to go on and shuffle up here. Spirit, I'm going to ask you to provide me with some insight surrounding Libra's teen school year term. I'd like to see what there might be any pitfalls available and just to see how they're just going to do for this entire year here. Okay? Rest assured, collective, that this reading may not and will not resonate for each and every one of you out there, but for those for whom this reading is meant, I do certainly hope it offers you the information that you're seeking. And so this reading is going to be geared toward giving the reading directly towards the teen here. Parents, I just like you to have a listening ear because I do have a lot of teens viewing this channel. Okay? So let's see what Spirit has to say. Let me just shuffle up one more time. These are some very gigantic cards here. I mean, my goodness. It's like crazy. So let's see here. All right. Let's start off by examining the cards that fell to the bottom of the deck here. I'm going to select a few and then we're just going to kind of go through them as we move along. We have the Seven of Wands. Okay. We have the King of Wands. Just make sure you guys are seeing these cards correctly. Okay. We also have the Nine of Wands. Okay. We have the Five of Swords. Wow, these are some very, very interesting cards here. Interesting mix. Okay, we have balance. All right. And we have the Seven of Cups. Wow. So it certainly seems here. Okay, and then I'm going to, of course, I'm going to create a nice story for you guys here. But looking at these cards, ladies and gentlemen, it certainly shows that it's certainly a lot of challenges to be expected here. Challenges with creativity, a very rough time here. I'm seeing a lot of worry, surrounding the school term, perhaps problems, again, more so with creativity, with friendships, as well as with teachers. Okay, so let's go on and get into the individual specifics of these cards so that you can understand the story as I convey it to you. Okay, let's start off by just taking a little peek at this Seven of Wands here. Okay, with this Seven of Wands, Mars is in Leo. So this card is suggesting that there will be, ladies and gentlemen, challenges that will need to be confronted, particularly this school year term. And it could be major for some of you. Perhaps it might even be a competition, or it just might even be an arduous assignment that you're going to have some difficulty um, planning, or just difficulty. I'm seeing a lot of difficulties here with assignments. But, ladies and gentlemen, one of the good qualities of this card is that this card certainly ensures success if you learn to really be courageous, that I'm getting here, because you see that you're protected here. You are protected from any enemies or forces over which you have no control. This card is asking you to stand up for yourself, prepare, Libra, and be a little more independent. This year, try to dare to be different, I'm getting. Understand that. Own your own opinions, okay? Express your opinions here, even if they go against the grain here, all right? This card is also kind of giving me a strong indication, ladies and gentlemen, to tell you that you might want to stop running away, because this card is all about running away from problems, and just letting things, allowing things to really happen. I'm getting. It's time for you to understand that the world really isn't against you. I'm kind of getting, because a lot of you, I'm feeling you feel that way. But competition, you need to realize as you age and as you grow and go into your embark upon new experiences, is that competition is certainly a part of life. And this term, as I have already indicated, you're going to feel you are resolved. I feel that this term, I feel you're going to resolve any fiction that you might have previously had. It looks like with even friends, and I feel some teachers, it looks like you're gonna learn to not only appreciate, but you're gonna learn to respect. It's gonna be vice versa, the teacher respecting you and you respecting them. And the reason why they're gonna respect you is because of your willingness to really voice your opinions, unlike others. Okay? And some of you might even have an interest, I'm getting, and even perhaps becoming a lawyer or working in the legal field, or even maybe working in Washington, D.C., or just simply getting into politics, if you will, that I'm kind of seeing here. Okay? This card is all about, ladies and gentlemen, when the going get tough, you get going. That's what it, or the tough get going. I'm sorry. So it's time that you try to make some effort to really surrender to holding firm against any opposition present. Because success certainly is within reach with this card, as I've already indicated here. And the reason why is because nothing is touching you, right? And they can't reach it. And then just to pull this other card here, just pull more cards to just give you more information what I'm seeing coming through. You have this King of Wands. All right. So the challenge could even possibly be perhaps even with this person here, this king here, an individual who really loves to be in charge, someone that's creative but very impulsive at times, okay? And it could even, for some of you, be your father, okay? It could be a teacher, a principal, a dean, due to the authoritative nature of this card and the leadership type qualities that you often find or aspects that you often find in this card. Alternatively, collectives, since you, Libra, are facing stiff competition, if you will, this card might also be, even in fact, urging you to embrace a cheerful quality about yourself and inspire others with these unusual convictions that you have. Rest assured, though, Libra, I'm kind of feeling that someone around you is very fussy. And usually this card represents a man here, but it could easily represent a female. So watch out for those qualities here. And this is, in fact, a fire sign. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. And then let's slide up another card here. Nine of Swords. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now this card is something else here. This is what you call the daydream, the nightmare type card here. You know? And with that card shown there, it says that it looks like this is almost being your own worst enemy, ladies and gentlemen. So much so that it will or it is causing much grief and depression this year. You guys are really having it hard, I'm getting. Okay? So it's time that you make some effort to really, what I'm getting here, to try to figure out what's bothering you. Did a friend or someone close to you hurt you badly, or did something betrayed you in some way that you're just fearing something? I'm getting. What's really causing you to feel a sense of inadequacy here, Libra? Are you having trouble sleeping, which I'm sure you are, or you will? But it's time that you release these negative feelings, okay? And make a decision, which is what I've been stressing throughout the entire, or will be, it seems, with the cards here. Stressing throughout the entire reading. And I feel that you either feel bad about a decision that you made, or you just simply feel misrepresented, which a lot of you teens do, right? No one understands me. Why? Why do you feel that way? We've been that age before, so we sure enough understand you. Okay? So some of you are, or you're going to be, or I'm feeling that you're going to be very, very concerned about, it looks like an exam or something, or a test that you might take here. Okay? I feel that it's a 50-50 chance here. I mean, as we're going to look more so into your reading here, but if you're not going to be focused and apply, the effort that was required here, it's going to be highly unlikely that you're going to pass here. So the key is to try to keep an optimistic attitude, Libra. Surrender self-hatred, self-loathing, and harboring these guilty feelings. All right? Avoid spiteful people and friends. If you're being this way towards someone, you need to change that behavior. Okay? I just feel that avoiding spiteful people, it becomes very, very significant. Because let's look at the next card here. With this card, we have the Five of Swords. This is all about winning at all costs, ladies and gentlemen. A card of one-upmanship. Okay? A card of empty victories, gossip, betrayal, even ridicule, and all sorts of different destructive, toxic behavior. So rest assured, a snake is afloat, or will be, and it's quite possibly an air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, or it could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or Libra, it could be you being your own worst enemy. All right? I feel that it seemed like Many of you are, I'm just kind of getting a strong indication that you just need to really consider the consequences of your actions, okay? Whether you or someone else is doing this. Because whatever it is that you're doing or, or cheating or just trying to do something underhanded, it's not going to make you happy in the end. Or someone is doing that towards you. And this card is also telling you to stop listening to others as well as allowing others to peer pressure you into doing things that you know is contrary from your existence. Be careful of those that you place trust. And I'm going to select some letters at the end of this reading because with going to school, and I can remember when I used to go, it's always enemies or bullies or people you can't trust, you know? So I'm going to let you know exactly who those people are at the end of this reading, okay? I feel that either someone is bullying you or you are bullying someone else. Again, this card is kind of asking you it's time that you confront your problems. Avoiding cheating. Avoid cheating because while you might achieve the victory that you desire, you're going to ask yourself, was it all really worth it in the end? The card is calling for you, Libra teams, to embrace change because some of you might have to move, and it seems that you will have to move here because we saw what the first card was, right? It's all about making some movements toward change here. Okay? And then we have balance here. And last but not least, the Seven of Cups. So what I'm seeing here is that this card is kind of asking you need to just take a balanced approach in doing things here because this balance card, it equates to temperance and that represents the Sagittarius. So it shows here that the karmic lessons that you are learning now will steed you well in the future, Libra. But it also tells you that balance and moderation are key, as well as compromise, as well as adaptation. Okay? And I'm kind of getting a sense, too, because of this five here. It shows some sort of move might be involved, as I indicated to you. So try to find balance. Take some time out to determine your next best step, if you will. And I feel that also some of you might even be trying to perhaps juggle two things here. For example, school versus work, or school versus play, job versus school, parents versus authority figures. And the list can go on and on and on. So this card is all about surrendering to inner peace, ladies and gentlemen, this year. But here again, I feel that by looking at this Seven of Cups here at the end, it certainly is going to be challenging for you guys. Very challenging here because what the Seven of Cups represents, of course, it represents a water sign, of course. Venus is in Scorpio. And it's all about chasing waterfalls. Don't go chasing waterfalls here. This is what you are. It seems that you are kind of muddled in your feeling. It shows a lot of fanaticism, having extremely too many options, poor study habits, even drug and alcohol abuse. So parents, you need to be up on it this year. An inability to see the forest from the trees. So again, here a crucial decision is certainly needed. But if you really want to be successful, you're going to need to remain focused. You're going to need to trust your intuition. And you're going to need to be a bit more realistic about the outcome. Realize, Libra, talk is certainly cheap. You are truly multi-talented. You need to keep your head out of the clouds and narrow your choices. And try to consider being a bit more creative. Perhaps you might want to consider even taking a writing course this term or something that's philosophical for those of you who are older, or even spiritual, of course, something like that. But recognize the key here is that certainly all that glitters isn't gold. All right. So now what I want to do is just go in and just get more into more of the specifics of what I'm seeing coming towards you by just pulling a few cards to represent your situation, current situation, what might be hidden in your situation, and give you some advice to help steer you in the right direction, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So we have change. Isn't that crazy here? Because I've been echoing that throughout all of the readings from the bottom of the card deck here. We have change. Okay. We have judgment, which appears reverse, which I don't usually read reverse cards, but of course I will with this one since it came up that way. We have judgment for what's hidden. Ten of Swords to represent advice or potential probable outcome. I'm going to select 3 cards for this one. We have the Ten of Swords. Wow. The Eight of Swords. And we have the Tower. Wow, Libra, you're going to have to really buckle down this year. So let's see what this is saying here. I'm just going to look at it and just make some general observations, okay, prior to actually explaining here what I'm seeing. Okay. Well, we certainly have the Death and the Eight of Swords there, and that certainly represents a very stalemated type situation. We have the Death as well as the Ten of Swords. So I'm even seeing a violent death that seems to be coming here, and appears to be one, and parents, I want you to hear this, one that is self-inflicted by self-injection or some type of overdose. So don't fool yourself about your child this year, because someone is on drugs, and you might end up losing your child this year if you don't really stay up on what's really going on here. All right? I'm seeing even relationships ending. We have the Devil, right? We have the Tower. All right? And then we also have this Judgment card there. Okay? So it shows a painful ending. Libra, your parents might be separating or divorcing here, which all is kind of culminate to make you very frustrated and worried and fearful. Okay? So now let's just go back and take a step back and look at what's really happening in your current situation here. We have change. Okay? So with change, this card represents death. Okay? It's just another name in this deck. But understand that change is certainly imminent. Change is something that you can't avoid. Just like Flannery O'Connor said, everything that rises must converge. So, Libra, you're going to have to prepare yourself for an ending. Okay? And don't resist this ending, because if you do, it's certainly going to be quite difficult for you. Okay? The time certainly has come. And things will appear very chaotic and uncomfortable for a little while. But old habits and old ways of doing things must go. It's time that you embrace new opportunities, take more accountability for your schoolwork, and learn about yourself, because whether you want it to come about or not, a radical change is certainly coming. Let's look at what's hidden in your situation that you need to know. We have judgment, and of course this card is reversed. So when I usually see a reverse card, it's more of a shadow type thing here. Okay? This card is telling you that it certainly is going to be very hard for you to trust yourself or even others. It's going to be hard for you to even trust your decisions. And some of you might even need to consult with a wise person or a counselor to help you make the best decision, as I've already indicated to you that there could be a death. Some of you may even be suicidal or start to think that way. It's time to stop blaming or judging people and try to forgive those who may have hurt you. Okay? Stop being defensive when your teachers or even your parents are trying to give you constructive criticism. You're going to have to learn to embrace constructive criticism. Stop procrastinating. Because there's a strong indication that many of you will, in fact, fail an exam if you don't make a crucial decision to break free of these toxic situations that I'm seeing here. I see you facing consequences for your previous actions. And again, cannot stress the fact that I certainly see a separation or a divorce. And like I said, some of you, you older ones, older teens, some of you may even be married. The old 18, 17, people are getting married earlier these days. You're making wrong choices. Okay? Now let's move right along, ladies and gentlemen, and give you some advice as well as the probable outcome. Now I selected 3 cards here. I have the Ten of Swords, Eight of Swords, and the Tower. All very negative, but each card is both positive and negative. Okay, so even with all of the negativity that we're seeing here, there's positive things that can come of it. So what these cards are suggesting here is that, and you're seeing that is abundance of air type signs here. So it's time that you surrender negative thinking and let go, let God. It's time that you release guilt and blame. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for you to surround yourself around those who really make you feel good about yourself. But rest assured, a lot of challenges and misfortune is going to occur this year. Be realistic about things and try to learn to see people and things for who they are or what they are. Don't try to make people other than what they're showing you. Okay? It's time that you really try to make some effort to trust your intuition, because understand that this storm is certainly going to pass soon. Embrace a new beginning, but be very vigilant, because you are or can be your own worst enemy here. You're not as trapped, ladies and gentlemen, as you think you might be. It's time that you remove these blindfolds here. Okay, you see? There's nothing preventing you from going out, okay, or removing yourself from painful situations here. Stop worrying and even find new things to do, even if it is even new friendships. And some of you might even change your appearance, as I'm getting. Okay? I'm just feeling that whatever the changes that you implement, you'll certainly be glad you did. So, as I was saying, I'm going to take out these letters here, and I'm going to try to help give you some indication of this snake or the person or people around whom you might want to consider being a bit more vigilant, Libra, this year, because these people are only going to bring you down, and that's not what you need, right? So Spirit guide me to the correct 20 tablets to help Libra teams identify just who this person might be, or it could be multiple people. Even it could be family members. You never know. Okay, let's see. And if your name appears here, Libra, it certainly indicates that you are, in fact, your own worst enemy. Okay, so let's see. We have an S, G, Y. We have an N, H, an I, P, S, T, A, N, G, U. Okay, let's see how many we have. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Spirit, give me 7 more letters for Libra. 7 more letters. Okay, let's see. We have a K, a W, an N, an E, a T, another T, and last but not least, we have a Z. Wow. All right. I'm going to call them back to you, Libras, to ensure that you have them all. There's one Z, one U, there's one H, there are two G's, two N's, three T's. I'm sorry, there's three N's and three T's, okay? Two S's, an E, an A, Y, P, I, K, and a W. All right? So, in conclusion today, Libras, I'd just like to leave you with just two final messages here, which I'm going to shuffle up another deck here to give you two closing messages regarding your situation. So, Spirit, give me two final messages to share with Libra teams during this school period term. Two final remaining messages, Spirit. And Libras as well as collective, if this reading is resonating, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Share it with others to whom you think might benefit because of the warning that's contained herein.